Hello, friends, and welcome to the Fantasy Football Rumors podcast with me, Mitchell Renz, and Tom. Wait, that's not Tom. That's Harris Rubenstein.
Peekaboo. What's up?
Harris, man, cheers to you. Thanks for joining the show.
Happy to be here.
Everybody, please follow Harris at Sportstein. If you need anything sports related whatsoever, he's your man. Follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. Tom is actually in Cabo celebrating his birthday. So if you guys want to give Tom a little shout out, I'm doing anything funny related to Tom and his birthday, because we had a little discussion on how old Tom was. He took it to heart a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw the poll results. So let's blow up
32,
32,
right?
33, maybe
like
40, whatever. Let's blow up Tom's Twitter feed, right? Like the next week while he's off on vacation. Gifts, pictures, wishing Tom a happy birthday. Got to be 30 years or older. I will retweet all of them, and we'll give a shout out to the best one on the podcast next week. Harris, we're sipping on Purple Haze again, this amazing lager from Abita Brewing Company. Shout out to them for providing the creative juices for today's show. A+ stuff, man. It is awesome. And guys, if you like the show, please drop us a 5-star review. It's greatly appreciated. Please follow us on Twitter. The names are below. And please follow Chat Sports at Chat Sports, Instagram and Twitter. Harris, you're new to the show.
I am.
Super excited to be here. We got 5 fantasy rumors.
Okay.
2 believe it or nots, and then 3 waiver wire rumors. I know I went like this, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
I'm ready. See, I had a great realization the other day of that. I thought that in my big fantasy league that I was just out, like my season was over, and then I looked and I realized that there are 6 playoff teams instead of 4, and I am seed number 5. So I kind of flipped out.
There you go, man.
That was fun.
I actually found out today that I made the playoffs in the Scott Fish Bowl. For you guys who don't know what the Scott Fish Bowl
Mazel
is.
tov. That's
Thanks,
what I'm
man.
talking about.
It's a fantasy football league with 720 people in it. It's the biggest fantasy football league in the world, and I made it in the Stitch division. Very happy to be there. 7-5, just sneaked in. But
So how many people made the playoffs, though?
I believe it's like, what is it? It'll be 40% of those teams make the playoffs.
Okay. I can't.
Not good at math.
I can't.
Not good at math. Regardless, some big names in my divisions. Dave Richard from CBS. He's a good guy in that division. Also 7-5. But I'll move on. You guys don't care about the Scott Fish Bowl, I'm sure, if you're not in it. The first, believe it or not, or the first fantasy rumor I got for you today, Harris, Samaje Perine. Is he a running back 2 the rest of the season?
You and I can't tell if we both agree on him or disagree with him starkly. I don't think he's any good. I know he was good in college, but I don't trust the Redskins with anything involving a running back. I just don't. He's going to get good carries and his yardage okay. I'd say he's a flex. He's a flex to me.
Okay. This is the only thing. So now that they're out without Chris Thompson, they obviously have lost a lot of options in that receiving game. I think they're going to lean on a guy like Perine, who coming into the season, I thought Perine was a good running back. This guy's big, touted guy out of Oklahoma, leads all-time leading rusher out of Oklahoma, legs the size of my torso. I've said that numerous times, but he doesn't look – he looks sluggish in the NFL, and I get that. But again, when you're getting 20 carries on a Redskins team who, believe this or not, guys, the Redskins the last 2 years have been top 6 in terms of rushing touchdowns.
Fat Rob.
Exactly, but like Fat Rob's out.
Yep.
Chris Thompson's out. I think it's a Samaje Perine show on a team who I think is actually pretty good, the Redskins. I want to say Perine is an RB2 just due to the fact that I think he has a safe floor.
I think that if you have him on your team, you're not upset. I just think that there are so many running backs you would take ahead of him that, if you had an option to pick him up or you had an option to trade for him. I know the trade deadline's passed for most leagues, but some have that like a crazy playoff deadline. But there are better options out there, but if you have them, you're not crying yourself to sleep.
No, I agree with that. And I think even for Dynasty, people are pretty excited because, again, here's a guy who I think is going to get a chance to show himself, and he's a young running back who I think could emerge to be a better running back. He just needs to, I think, run between the tackles a little bit better. And once the Redskins upgrade that offensive line, it'll fit his scheme a little bit better. Fantasy football rumor number 2 I got for you, Harris. Greg Olsen, he did avoid a serious injury this past week. He is expected to play in Week 13. How confident are you in starting a guy like Greg Olsen?
10 out of 10 confident. Start the Greg Oden father. It's Greg Olsen. If you can start Greg Olsen, you start Greg Olsen. I don't care if he's playing on one leg. I don't care if he has one arm tied behind his back the whole game. You play Greg Olsen. And also because the tight end position just literally put it in a dumpster and light it on fire.
Dumpster
it's
fire.
Awful. It's so bad.
I think like minus maybe like 5 guys in fantasy right now for tight end. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you're talking like guys like Ertz, Gronk, Kelsey, Jimmy Graham right now. I think those are like,
came back around.
no doubt, slam dunk picks that you're playing at tight end. And I think Greg Olsen deserves to be in that realm. I mean, guys entering the season, Greg Olsen 3 straight years over 1,000 yards by a tight end, and I don't believe that's ever happened before.
Never done before.
So he's super consistent. He's on a good team. He is the safety blanket for Cam Newton. If he's healthy, unless you have one of those guys that I mentioned, I don't know how you bench him.
Just don't overthink it. If you have Greg Olsen, you play Greg Olsen.
Yep.
If you have him, you play him. It's Greg Olsen.
I agree. You're doing well, man.
I'm holding my own. I've been playing fantasy football for so long. But
So
probably
long.
not as long as you, but
12 years.
12 years.
12
No,
years.
not 12.
Family league,
I would
baby.
Maybe 9 years old. Have not been playing since I was 5 years old.
Yeah, my family's crazy. My family is like The League, the show on Netflix, times 10. Not even close.
Dude, OG seasons like 1 and 2 of The League were the funniest show on television.
Password is
Throwback.
taco. Maybe Harris, you'll see one of my vinegar strokes this weekend.
Yes.
Who knows? All right, man. Fantasy football rumor number 3 I got for you.
Ooh.
Juju Smith-Schuster or Martavis Bryant rest of the season. For me personally, I don't even think it's a question. I put a poll out.
Okay, who do you got?
I put a poll out, and it was about split 75-25 in favor of Juju.
Wow.
What do you think?
Okay. I think that as of right now, the aura is around Juju because he's the rookie. He's super fun. He's great on social media. But let's pause for a second and recognize that Martavis Bryant is still the better player.
Okay.
Martavis Bryant is still the better football player. He's been in the league longer. He's faster. He's stronger. He's bigger. So Juju's fun. Juju is going to be the next Antonio Brown. Like, they're very similar receivers. Not like Hall of Fame legend. I'm saying he's going to take over. When Antonio Brown leaves, Juju's going to be the X. But Martavis Bryant is always going to be the Y. He's always going to be the guy that stretches the field. He's always going to make the big plays. I think if all 3 of them are on the field at the same time, I still feel like Bryant has a bigger ceiling.
Okay.
But the problem is that Juju has a higher floor. So if you want consistency, Juju's your guy.
Okay.
If you want biggest explosion of points, I think a fully healthy and playing Martavis Bryant is what you want.
So
it's tough.
I think from that statement, I think the few things that I agree with are, do I think Juju will be the X going forward? Sure. Do I think Martavis Bryant is the Y? Yeah. And the reason why I think he's the Y is because why are you taking Martavis Bryant over Juju Smith-Schuster? Like, they both have had – Juju's got 52 targets. Martavis Bryant has 51 targets. Juju has 200 more yards than a guy like Bryant.
He's had a better year, for sure.
Oh, I'm saying better year, but also I just think he's more consistent right now. And he's 21. I understand. And I'll say it too. Like, I think Martavis is – you could argue he's the most physically gifted wide receiver in the NFL. Like, that's truly how athletic this guy is. And I mean that. Like, he is truly, like, that great. But he just doesn't have it up here. And to me, Juju has it up here.
True, but one of the things I do like about the Steelers team, Ben is okay giving them both equal amounts of targets. And we haven't really seen them on the same field yet, so it's kind of tough to determine. But if they're on the field at the same time, both guys are going to get targets. Big Ben is not one to mince touches for good wide receivers. Martavis Bryant is getting open. He's going to throw the ball to him. It's not like he's going to not look at Martavis Bryant if Juju's around. The guy that will take the hit, though, if you were even thinking about starting Eli Rogers, who's their slot guy, no more. That's gone. That's not happening.
I kind of wish, though, the Steelers would go with a more playing Juju and Martavis on the field at the same time, just because Martavis gives you that ability to stretch the field literally every single play, and I feel like it would open up things way more for guys like Antonio Brown who can't get bracket covered, and then you got to just – obviously then you can't try to shadow Le'Veon Bell. So I kind of wish they'd all be on the field at the same time. However, I'm taking Juju, and I think it's – to be honest, I think it's a slam dunk, Juju Smith, even in Dynasty.
Hot take, though, start Le'Veon Bell.
See, this is why Harris is here. He's telling you guys to start Le'Veon Bell. All right, guys. Fantasy football rumor number 4. Is it safe to drop Aaron Jones and Ty Montgomery right now?
Both?
Drop them both. Can you drop them both now that Jamal Williams has kind of emerged?
You can drop Aaron Jones.
Okay. Injury related?
Well, Yes, and also because I think Jamal Williams is just better. I think Jamal Williams is just a better player. I think he has more talent. I think Aaron Jones is good. Aaron Jones is going to be in this league for a long time. He can run, he can catch, you do everything you need out of the running back position. But here's something Jamal Williams can do a little bit better. Jamal Williams is actually a better blocker.
Much better.
And if there's one thing that the Packers really, really, really need is blockers. They need something to take the pressure off of Brett Hundley. And if you can block in this league as a running back, you will get more snaps than people who can't.
100%.
And de facto, if you're getting more snaps, you're going to get more touches. I think Ty Montgomery you can keep. I still think he is probably the third-ish and a half target on this team, probably. But Jamal Williams is the guy to keep. I think Aaron Jones is out.
So this is the way I'm going to look at it. I think if you're looking long-term for Dynasty, I think it's Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones, and I think you can get rid of Ty Montgomery.
Interesting. Okay.
The reason why I say that is because Ty Montgomery, coming into the league, sure, he was a running back. He's been a wide receiver. They don't really know what he wants. But from what I've heard from a lot of the scouts and coaches that watch Montgomery run, he runs very upright. He runs like a wide receiver. Yeah. And I think that's kind of why we've seen this injury to his ribs, because he's a very upright runner, and defenses are taking advantage of that. But I liked Jones coming out of UTEP. I was huge on Jamal Williams coming out of BYU.
He was so good at college.
This is the thing, though, like you said. Williams can block, and guarantee you next year they are going to have a little bubble around Aaron Rodgers, because we've seen this team just fall apart. And if Williams can block better to keep Aaron Rodgers healthy, that's something that we're going to see. We're going to see him in the game longer. But for this season, the only running back that I want is Jamal Williams. And the other reason why I think you can drop guys like Aaron Jones and Ty Montgomery is because this Packers offense isn't good. I understand they played the Steelers well, but it's still not an offense that I want to trust, and not an offense where I want to have a running back by committee. So for that reason, I think Williams is the only guy.
Aaron Jones is good as a receiving back, but that screen pass that they ran against Pittsburgh, that like what Jamal Williams can do with the ball in his hands in an open field, that is what makes him better than Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is a good 4.5 yards in a cloud of dust kind of guy, but I think Jamal Williams has that explosive factor that Aaron Jones doesn't have.
Okay, fair enough. Fantasy football rumor number 5, Harris. Kenyon Drake is expected to be the featured running back for the Miami Dolphins this week. Are you starting him against the Broncos in Week 13?
No.
You're not going to start him?
No, I'll start him at the flex. Okay. If you have him, start him at the flex. I think that's a good spot for him. He's going to get you 7 points. I think he is a solid 7-pointer. But he was fun in college. He's fast. He's explosive. Do I think he's a starting caliber running back? Can he really take 20 carries a game? No. The dude could barely stay healthy getting 20 touches a game. And in Alabama, barely. He could never stay on the field. He's going to get 11 carries. Okay. And he'll get 5 targets. But he's not going to, unless he explodes for a huge touchdown, I don't think he's going to even come close to double digits.
Yeah, I mean, being a featured running back on the Miami Dolphins is definitely nothing I really want to brag about.
It's not saying much.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely.
Hey, good thing they didn't trade their best running back for something silly like a 4th-round pick.
Well, yeah. I mean, I will say, though, going up against the Broncos, this team is obviously falling apart, and they're going to be without Aqib Talib because he's suspended now for 2 games. Am I crazy for believing that Drake could potentially have a decent game? I want to believe it because he has the breakaway speed. I think his ceiling is actually decent in this game, and the Broncos have struggled against pass-catching running backs, and I think Drake is more of a scat back than a true, between-the-tackles runner. But again, man, I'm not going to start him as an RB2 with confidence, especially this is the week before playoffs start. I don't want to rely on Kenyon Drake getting me into the playoffs. But, I mean, if you guys are having these dilemmas, because I've had this question now asked me a few times this week, hit me up on Twitter, MitchellRenz365. I hope you make your lineup decisions. Hit up Harris. He's on here for a reason. He knows his stuff at Sportstein. Is it Sportstein or Sportstein?
Sportstein. You said Stein before, and
I could see the anger on the screen. So I was like,
Steen.
Yep, screw
that.
There
are
are
a lot of Steins out there. Steen.
Got it. Pristine. There you go. From Harris. All right, man. I got 2 fantasy believe it or nots for you.
Okay.
And this is, I'll be honest, Tom's been killing it with these. And I don't know if he's cheating and looking at my notes.
Okay.
But I'm hoping you didn't go ahead and look at it. So believe it or not, 5 wide receivers in the NFL right now have over 1,000 receiving yards.
5?
5.
No way. No way. No way there's 5. I'd say like, let's see. Let me, all right. Antonio Brown, definitely.
1.
DeAndre Hopkins, definitely.
2.
Because he's just been eating. Let's see. All right, there's no way that Julio Jones doesn't have 1,000 yards. He just put up 250 of them.
Julio Jones has 1,000 yards.
Julio Jones has 1,000 yards. All right, now I'm trying to think of guys. AJ Green definitely doesn't yet.
He definitely doesn't.
He definitely doesn't yet. Brandon Cooks doesn't yet.
Doesn't,
And
yeah.
he's actually pretty close. No one else in the NFC, because Alshon Jeffrey doesn't have 1,000 yards because he only scores touchdowns.
Okay. So your answer
I think it's 3.
Okay. To answer your first question, 5 wide receivers in the NFL do not have 1,000 receiving yards. But you did miss one guy who has over 1,000 receiving yards. There are 4 players. I thought when I initially looked at this, it was going to be Keenan Allen. Ooh. Keenan Allen is at 927.
A little bit of a slow start to the year. I can kind of see
There
that.
is one player who I think has been forgotten, and I will continue to say I am done answering questions about the receiver, who has over 1,000 yards. He does play in the NFC. And he's on the Vikings.
Thielen?
Adam
Hey!
Thielen.
Cool.
Over
Okay.
1,000 receiving yards. Let's start giving that man his respect. Because, again, I'm not saying you're not respecting him, but, like, when we think about elite receivers, DeAndre Hopkins, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, the name Adam Thielen doesn't come up. I'm not saying he's in that category, but, guys, he's been very good. He's a wide receiver 1. Treat him like one. All right, man. Fantasy football, believe it or not, number 2.
Oh, boy.
Believe it or not, Kareem Hunt has the most fantasy points scored among rookie running backs in a PPR league.
Ooh. PPR?
In a PPR league.
Wow. Okay, so the 4 rookie running backs that matter, it's Kamara, it's Hunt, it's McCaffrey, and Fournette. Can't be Fournette. He doesn't catch the ball.
Okay.
He's also the biggest boomer bust player in the NFL right now. It's either he's amazing or he doesn't do anything. Oh, man.
It's a good one, right?
I don't think it's Kamara because I don't think Kamara physically has played enough this year.
Okay.
Well, hold on. I believe it because Kareem Hunt is still top 3 in normal leagues for points.
Okay.
Plus receptions, I'm going to say I believe it.
So you believe Kareem Hunt is the most... That is incorrect.
Oh, come on.
Alvin Kamara is the top rookie running back in PPR leagues, and it's actually not even close. He's got Hunt by about 30 points.
When did that happen?
Well, the fact when you score 7 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks, when you're the only running back in the NFL with over 500 rushing and over 500 receiving yards, I think it gives you that opportunity to be truly explosive.
I just figured he hasn't gotten enough touches to physically have the points. That's
like he really hasn't. He's got 77 carries. He's averaging 7.1 yards per carry. So this is a question that you and I talked about. I think we talked about it yesterday on our NFL Daily Show. Not really fantasy related, but who's the NFL Rookie of the Year right now?
You
guys know who I'm taking, and I wish Tom was here because this would be perfect.
Because look, Kamara's great. Like I get it, he's been awesome. But at the same, I can't give the. I still think it's Kareem Hunt. I know he's slowed down. He hit a rookie wall, but he's still somehow top 3 in rushing yards in the NFL.
Yep.
His yards per carry are still there. Yep. He's consistently put up at least 70 yards rushing in every single game. He's been one of the most consistent running backs in the entire NFL this year. The only difference is that the Saints are winning games. And the Chiefs aren't.
Man, so here's the thing. Kareem Hunt hasn't scored in like 8 weeks or 7 weeks.
No, I'm going to blame. Is that his fault? Or is that the Chiefs' offense?
I think it's a little bit of both. Hunt the last, I'm going to say like 5 weeks isn't averaging 3 yards per carry. I'd be surprised if he's averaging 3 yards per carry. He's definitely slowed down. I think teams are figuring him out. But again, I think that's also, teams are starting to figure out the Chiefs and Alex Smith a little bit. But, Alvin Kamara has been special. Like, again, the 7 touchdowns, he's been playing well. This Saints team has been rolling. Sure, they lost last week, but Alvin Kamara was the only reason why they were in that game whatsoever.
It's the first half of the season versus the second half of the season. Kareem Hunt was amazing in the first half. Kamara's been crazy in the second half. And usually a lot of these awards do come down to who finished the season strongly. So I would. Do you know what? How about this? I think as of right now, Kamara and Hunt are tied because if Kareem Hunt the last 3 weeks of the year just goes off, then the award's his.
Okay.
But if Hunt continues to kind of middle around and not really do anything, and Kamara kind of continues his pace, he'll win. But I still think Kareem Hunt, because if you look at a lot of rookies that hit a wall, eventually they break through that wall. I remember Stephen Ridley, rookie running back for the Patriots way back when, had a season like this. I think it was either his second year. He had a great first half of the year, hit a huge wall, did nothing for like 7 weeks, and the last 2 weeks of the year, he was just insane. So we'll see. I'd consider them tied.
The question I have for you then is, do you want to join Tom and I's bet? And that bet for me is Alvin Kamara versus Kareem Hunt in fantasy points scored from last week on. Tom took Hunt. I'll take Kamara. Right now, I'll take Alvin Kamara to win Rookie of the Year. You can take Kareem Hunt to win Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
If I win, you're going to eat that hot sauce with Tom, the ghost pepper hot sauce. And if you win, you can pick whatever you want me to do. I don't really care.
Do you know what? I will think of something you have to do, and Alvin Kamara inevitably loses Rookie of the Year. Because I'll put it this way: it is very difficult to win Rookie of the Year when you're only getting 11 touches a game.
I agree with that.
Eventually, you're not going to score 2 touchdowns.
But when you're as explosive as Kamara, baby, I will take that all day. All right, man. I got 3 fantasy football waiver wire rumors for you entering the playoffs. Hopefully, some of these guys can be a hit. If Jimmy Garoppolo, Josh McCown, and Case Keenum are sitting on your waiver wire, who are you picking up?
All right. Not Josh McCown.
Okay.
I know he's been good.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm not banking on Josh McCown.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Case Keenum. Because think about it. Jimmy G is – I think Jimmy G is better. I think Jimmy G is going to end up being one of – I disagreed with you. I think Jimmy G is going to end up being one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday on the NFL Daily Show.
But who is he throwing to?
Again, I agree.
Marquise Goodwin, I should say. George Kittle, just a bunch of randos. Case Keenum, Jerick McKinnon's been great catching the ball on the outside. Adam Thielen, 1,000-yard receiver. Stephon Diggs been amazing to see come back. Kyle Rudolph's been catching touchdowns at a career high pace. Give me Case Keenum. I think he's the best team. I think he has to be top 10 right now in fantasy points.
I don't know if he's top 10. I mean, I can try to bring that up real quick while we talk about it.
Here, I got it.
But Case Keenum the last 4 weeks, 17, 24, 17, or 17, 28, 17, and 24. My bad.
So consistent.
Again, super consistent, and I think he's on the best team. If all 3 of those quarterbacks are on your waiver wire, again, I'm taking Case Keenum. Josh McCown has been good. Guys like Robbie Anderson have definitely emerged, but I'm not going to take Garoppolo. I think from a dynasty standpoint, Garoppolo has the most value of all 3 of those names
true.
there. But for this season alone, I'm taking Case Keenum, and I'm rolling with the Vikings because, man, that's one ship that I would love to be on.
Case Keenum right now, as we sit here today, where is he? He is 17th with 164 points. Josh McCown is 13th, so Josh McCown is higher.
Yeah, but Keenum hasn't played as many games. I'd like to see the average of that. I'm not going to ask you to do that right now. I don't think we have the time for that. No. They just put some food outside, so I'm trying to get to that food action here at Chat Sports Studios. Yeah, Lena Bond is all about that action as well behind the scenes. She's giving us let's go, guys. I'm hungry. All right, fantasy waiver wire number 2 I got for you. Alfred Blue or Peyton Barber?
Neither.
You're not going to take it either?
Nope.
Lamar Miller's probably going to be out a few weeks. Alfred Blue probably going to get the carries.
Alfred Blue, I'll put it this way. The difference between Alfred Blue and Lamar Miller is like a net 0. I honestly don't think that Lamar Miller is that special.
Lamar Miller's better than Alfred Blue.
He 4 yards in a cloud of dust.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, Alfred Blue to me is super vanilla.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they're both super vanilla. I think that Lamar Miller has been going off his name in the college he went to for his entire NFL career without ever actually doing anything exciting.
Okay. But I mean,
Alfred Blue.
I think it's Alfred Blue as well, and I think it's just I trust the Texans, I guess, more than the Buccaneers, which I can't even believe I'm saying. But I mean, Barber did score this past week, but Martin to me is still the running back. He is a concussion protocol, But right now, I mean, if it's probably the Alfred Blue show. I mean, Foreman's out for the year. Lamar Miller's probably going to miss a few weeks. I'm going to pick up a guy like Blue. Maybe he can put together a few good weeks. I mean, they're definitely not going to rely on Tom Savage. And DeAndre Hopkins, I've been saying sell high on Hopkins, and I've been wrong, and I'm going to take credit for that. I'm done telling people to sell high on Hopkins. He's good no matter what. 7 catches, 125 yards. He's no doubt start every single week. So that's on me. If anybody sold him or benched him, yeah, come at me on Twitter because I deserve it. So last one I got for you. Oh, God, I almost fell. Josh Gordon is returning to the Browns this week. Should he be picked up on the waivers?
Yes, you should pick him up. And
Really?
it pains me to say that.
You think?
Because what happens if he explodes? What happens? You have to put in a request. Even if he's the last spot on your bench and you just keep him, because think about it. What happens if he comes back and he's just amazing? That could be the difference between
Of course.
you winning
What
and
happens
you
if
losing.
anybody comes out the next week and is amazing?
But you know that Albert Blue's not going to come out and be amazing. But Josh Gordon, if he, what happens if he just comes out and is just a stud? I say yes.
I get it, but man, I don't know, man. Like Josh Gordon, we saw him the last time he played. He averaged 4 catches, 62 yards, 0 touchdowns that last season. But sure, like we think about the great 2013 season, 1,600 yards and 14 games with 12 and 9 touchdowns. Like the upside's there. And I have heard reports that he is the most talented receiver at the Browns, what they've been saying at practice. But
wow.
But like
surprise.
I mean, Corey Coleman. I still think Corey Coleman deserves to be up in there, but
I pick up Deshaun Kaiser.
Man, I don't know if I want to pick up Kaiser. I don't know if I want to pick up Gordon. Like, I really don't know, man. Like, I don't think Gordon is going to be a guy that I can trust. And
I am a wholehearted believer in the comeback of Josh Gordon. I think it is so rare to find someone of his skill set along with his size. Give him a couple of weeks to get back in the swing of things. If you're in a dynasty league, you better have already picked up Josh Gordon.
I think dynasty leagues he's definitely pick upable, but I'm not going to start him this week. Harris is saying I'm going to pick him up. If he's right, give him some credit. If not, let me hear it on Twitter, MitchellRenz365 at Sportstein. Guys, that's all the time we have for you today. Harris and I are about to go chow down on some food out there.
What they got?
If there's any fantasy rumors that you missed or that we missed, please hit me up on Twitter. Please follow Chat Sports at Chat Sports on Twitter and Instagram. Today's the Tuesday podcast. We're going to be on for the Wednesday podcast, so don't miss that. If there's anything else, I don't really know how I'm going to wrap this up. High five. Good job for filling in for Tom. Oh, yeah. Make sure you guys hit up Tom on Twitter. Send him those gifts. Wish him happy birthday. This is Mitchell Renz. That's Harris. This is the Fantasy Football Rumors podcast. And until next time, thanks for joining us.